No, okay. Rip. Okay.
Only use the handle.
Only.
Are we good to start?
Brian.
Oh,
That's gonna be tough with these
Oh.
things, but okay. 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 Hello. All right. I'm Brian, and this is a graph of the robot population in my apartment over the last couple months. And I'm gonna tell you how we went from having 1 robot in 3 years to 60 robots in 3 months to hopefully a lot of more robots in 3 weeks. And to help with that, Shahan is gonna build a robot live on stage. Okay? Okay, so this is a bracket bot. A bracket bot is a Segway with a stick on it and a camera at the top. Like, I was literally watching a live stream one day where someone did exactly that, and I thought it was amazing. I thought it was so much cooler than the humanoid robots we've been seeing all over the internet. These robots that are gray and dystopic and kind of uninspiring of a robotic future that we're all hoping for. Especially this. Like, what is this? Why is there a humanoid holding a robot vacuum? But especially if you zoom in, why is the vacuum on the arm when the arm can be on the vacuum?
Wait. I don't think you guys are getting it. Why is the vacuum on the arm when we could have the? Why is the vacuum on the arm when we could have the arm on the vacuum, guys? Arm on the vacuum.
Okay, thank you, Shahan. Okay, and so I've been thinking about, like, what if we had cool robots like this? Like snake robots or box with legs, or roly-poly robots or flying robots. This sounds way cooler than the humanoid robots that we're all seeing. And so I set out to kind of make that happen. And it started with this. I wanted to replicate this balancing robot. So I got the smartest guys that I knew at Waterloo, and we tried to make this robot that we saw on the live stream. And it turns out it was really hard. Like, really, really, really hard. Like, we bought every motor controller on the internet kind of hard. And it just it would not work. It was so difficult just to make something that seemed so simple. And it wasn't just us. In, like, looking on the internet while debugging, we noticed that everyone has trouble trying to get robots to work. And so I actually set out and started a company and dropped out of school to try and solve this problem. We ended up solving a different problem, but I was so obsessed with this stupid robot that I dropped back into school and made a robot factory in my apartment. And eventually, we got to balance. And we would kind of bring it everywhere with us, like literally to Harvey's or to class, showing off like our achievement. And then I got thinking about these again, these cool robots that we wanted. And I realized that if we want to have these cool, interesting robots, we're going to have to make robots a lot easier to build and debug and program. And so I started calling all of my friends over to my house, and I'm like, you're going to come build a robot, and you're going to tell me why it's hard, and we're going to make it easier. And those that wouldn't listen to me, I got donuts and sent them a picture, and then eventually they would come. And then an inflection point happened where people started asking me to come over in the middle of the night. And then people started really liking to build these bracket bots. A lot of people. And what we realized is that as we made the bracket bots easier to make, people started naturally being more creative, which was perfect, because we wanted people to be more creative with robotics. And so I checked if the parts would fit in a shoebox, because that was like my criteria for if we could kind of ship these things around. And they did. And so I open sourced the designs. I wrote some documentation. I made a really long video on how to put it all together. And then we made more kits and put them in more boxes. And then we hosted the largest robotics hackathon ever, literally on planet Earth, where over 100 people and 40 teams built their own bracket bots, however they saw fit. We had hugging robots and elevator taking robots and like tennis ball shooting robots, and it was exactly what we were looking for, a more creative robotic future. And now we're gonna try and do a live demo, which it might work, it might not work, so let's see how that goes.
Brian, I'm done.
Okay, and Sean is done!
Yeah! Okay. that fast.
Okay.
It's that easy.
So,
Bye.
oh, this is a bit of a yikes. Okay. Oh, this is a big yikes. Okay, we're gonna try and do at least one thing here. Doesn't work, we'll move on. You can come to my booth after. This might work. Okay, wait, do you have a shot of my screen? No? Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna try and get one of these robots to do something. Or does Shahan, does yours move? Shahan's does something interesting. Oh wait, this one works. Okay, wait. So, you can control these robots from the Claude app on your computer. And I'm gonna try and do that here for you live. So, do you want to show my screen? Does someone want to show my screen? Okay. Well. Okay. It's on the screen. This thing? Okay. We're gonna try and move the blue robot. 8100. We're gonna give this a try. Okay. Claude is checking if the robot's online. Does a quick check. Okay. Okay, that's a bit of yikes. Anyways, back to the presentation. Okay. We'll see this at the booths. Okay. Back to the presentation. Okay. Sorry about that. But I think Shahan's works. Wait, let's see. Oh, Shahan's works. So if I hold my hand out, it follows my hand. If I go a fist, it goes backwards. It should go backwards, or it stops. So hand open, follow, and stop. Okay, thank you, Shahan. Okay. Okay, what's going on here? What is this all about? If you think back to the early apps on your iPhone, they kind of looked like this. They were kind of useless, like these stupid robots. But slowly and surely, with millions of developers getting phones all around the world, we finally got useful apps, like these ones. They're not useful for everyone still, but you get the point. We need lots of people trying lots of things in robotics so that we can explore the possibility space and find the interesting things we can do, so that we can have robots like this in our future, unlike the humanoids. And so, I want you to go out and create the things that you also wish existed. Thanks. Bye.